Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another live iThemes training live stream webinar. My name is Nathan Ingram. I'm the host here at iThemes Training, and I'm joined today by my friend Beth Livingston from the WP Project Managers Academy. Beth is a project management guru and teaches people in the web world and in other worlds how to manage their products more effectively. Beth, welcome back to iThemes Training. How's it going?
Hey, it's going really well. Hey, Nathan, real quick, I saw in the chat where Sherry says that she's being prompted to join as a member before she can download the slides, and I don't know why that's happening. But I will check on that right after this is over.
All right.
Somebody else is saying they can't download the slides.
Interesting.
It was working earlier. I've got to go check on it. I was finishing that up right at the end of right before this started. So I will have that by the time that Nathan has the replay up. I will have that link fixed so you can get the slides, and it's the prompts that you're most interested in, I'm sure. So, and you will be once I'm finished, because this is fun.
It is fun. We've been in the pre-show having a good chat about how people are using AI in their world, and everything from generating marketing language to cooking to code snippets. Lots of fun. So Beth, give us just an overview of where we're heading in the next hour.
Okay, so I, like everybody else, my immediate thought when ChatGPT came on the scene and I started seeing what it can do is like, oh my God, how's it going to replace me? What are the things it can do to replace me? So I started going through all the project management stuff as to which things can be done with AI, and oh my gosh, it's not going to replace me as a teacher of project management. Project management is project management. But the way we go about pulling this stuff together for projects is going to be so much easier. In fact, so much so that I'm totally redoing the academy based on AI, because why take the long way around when you can get a head start? It's not going to do it A to Z for you, but it gives you a head start. So that's what I'm going to show you today, is all the stuff I've discovered. I'm by no means an expert. I've just been dabbling, and I'm going to show you what I've discovered.
Very good. I forgot to get you to share your screen, Beth, so let's do that, and then we'll dive right in. As Beth is getting that set up, if you're just joining us in Zoom, let me drop in all the links there. The link to download today's slides is asking you to log in. That's an issue that Beth is going to get fixed right after we wrap up today. So you'll be able to download the slides as well as the AI prompts. Just give it just a few minutes for her to click whatever button needs to be clicked on that end to unprotect those downloads. Also, let me just remind you, this is being recorded, so we'll have a replay up in about an hour after we wrap up. That link is also in the chat. It will contain the transcript, the video replay, and everything that comes up in the chat log as well. So all that will be accessible to you when we wrap up. You can also share it. It's a public link. If anybody that, you watch this, you think somebody else might enjoy it, please share it. Finally, if you have questions during today's webinar, we welcome that. Please use the Q&A link in Zoom. Just mouse over the shared screen, click the Q&A, and that will pop open the Q&A window for you. I would recommend that you just keep that open throughout. And as folks ask a question, there'll be a little thumbs up icon under the question that you can click if you would also like to see the answer to that question. And when we get to the end, we'll do a Q&A with Beth based on the number of upvotes. So with that, I'm going to disappear and turn it over to you, Beth. Let's talk about AI and project management.
Okay, great. Thanks, Nathan. And my issue with you not being able to download the prompts and stuff yet, that is a testament to the best practice of always test it when you're not an admin before you say, hey, I'm done with that. It's fixed. So you always got to do that. So it was one of my, I didn't go through my checklist like I should. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about today: the future of project management, integrating AI for optimal efficiency. So what you're going to learn is what AI can do to help with project management, and then also what AI cannot do, and also how to use ChatGPT, one form of AI, to streamline each of the project management stages in the project management life cycle. And so the slides and prompts will be available at the end, but a few minutes after the end. Hold on one second. I need to bring up my notes, and they have disappeared. One moment. I'm going to escape that 1 second and start it again so that my notes will appear. Thank you. Okay, a little bit about me. I was a first grade teacher a long time ago. I went back to graduate school, studied instructional design. I became a training specialist, technical writer, business analyst, project manager. That was my life in corporate world. When I left the corporate world, I formed my own WordPress agency. It was called something else. It was called WP Roadmaps, and now it is Triad Web Advisors. I'm a frequent WordCamp speaker, a meetup organizer, and I am the director of the WP Project Managers Academy. So that's who I am. That's why you should listen to me, because I know project management. I don't know a lot about a lot, but I know project management. Okay, so here's the main thing to remember about AI. It's not new, right? All these chatbots that you've been seeing for years, that's AI. Facial recognition, that's AI. Transcription services that we've all been using, especially recently since accessibility has become a thing. Transcription, that is a AI. And you know how when they recommend, you watch these movies on Netflix, so you might like these other ones, that's a recommender system, that's also AI. But the one we're going to focus on today is the one that's gotten all the press lately, which is ChatGPT. There's two, for those of you who may not be familiar, there are two main ways to use ChatGPT, and there's two current versions. So the two main ways is using an API or not using an API. So if you want to build on top of this, and I'm not a technical expert by any means, this technology that ChatGPT is built on, if you're going to build some sort of something that you might want to sell or something like that, then you're going to need an API. That's for a custom solution. For most of the things that you're going to use it for, especially when it comes to project management, you're not going to need an API. Now, some solutions require you to build your own data and then train ChatGPT how to use that data. That's above my pay grade as well. But those capabilities are there. So, I mean, the sky's the limit in terms of your imagination or how you might want to go about productizing your business or your services. Every night I lay awake at night thinking of all these different ideas and ways that this technology can be used for the good of the people and not to come and destroy the people, as some people are afraid that it might do. Okay, there's version 3.5, which comes with the free version of ChatGPT, and then there's also version 4. Version 4 is faster and gives you, in some cases, a much more robust response than 3.5. But in my experimentation, I've also found that in some cases, 3.5 gives a better answer. So if either way, you're not happy with the results you get, you should try it with the other version. If you now 4, I think you can only get 4 if you are part of the premier version, which is $20 a month, I think. I signed up as soon as it happened, and I don't even remember how much I paid for it. I was so excited about it. Okay, so before we look at how to use AI in project management, it's important to make a distinction between the development lifecycle of a website and the project management lifecycle. There's some overlap, but here's how they're different in respect to AI. We need to look at that. So much of the technical stuff that we do can ultimately be replaced with AI. Now, don't freak out. Don't get scared yet. There's still a human factor in this too. So what I did was I asked ChatGPT which of these 4 activities can be replaced with AI. And so what it said was that for planning, AI can help with gathering and analyzing data, but it lacks the ability to fully understand business goals, user needs, and stakeholder requirements. AI under design can generate design elements and layouts, but it can't fully comprehend the user experience. AI can help automate code generation and identify bugs, but it can't develop complex functional features and functionalities like when you're acting as a problem solver, right? It can't do creative problem solving, doesn't have a deep deep understanding of business logic. Okay, when it comes time to, that's under develop. It can help generate the code, but it can't do those real complex things. Launch. it can help with testing and optimizing performance, but it can't handle the strategic aspects of launching a website, like marketing, user acquisition, stakeholder communication. But some of what we do today ourselves can be that can be replaced with AI. So what ChatGPT can do, it can help you to streamline when it comes to project management, can help you streamline processes, can help you generate ideas on anything, create content and communication. It can reduce errors, and it can help you make better decisions. And so by embracing this AI technology, project managers, business owners, whoever can focus more on the strategic activities and let AI handle the repetitive and time-consuming tasks. Now, I know those of you who are designers may feel that this is never going to, you know, there's that angst about, but I'm a designer, I'm a creative, and that's true to a certain extent. But if there's a guy out there who wants to DIY his website, it's going to be a lot easier for him to do it and do a pretty nice job of it using AI, and sadly. But here's what ChatGPT cannot do. It can't provide real-time data. Remember, it only goes up to the end of 2021 at the current time. And so it can't tell you anything about current conditions. You cannot conduct research on specific companies. It's not going to get your customers to like you or trust you. And remember, people who do business with who they know, like, and trust. It cannot understand or replicate human emotions and empathy. At least not now, but if anybody's seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, we should probably be a little bit concerned. Anyway, it cannot create entirely unique and innovative concepts. It cannot adapt to unexpected situations. That's the biggest deal when it comes to project management. And so that's why I highlighted in red, ChatGPT cannot manage projects for you, but it can certainly make the job a whole lot easier. So we've looked at the website development lifecycle, much of what can be replaced with AI. Now let's look at the project management lifecycle and how AI can play a role with that. So I break the project management lifecycle down into these 5 stages. They're not exactly phases, they're more like stages. So you've got your pre-proposal section, you get into the proposal phase or stage, the discovery stage, the managing of the project stage, and then the closeout stage. So let's look at some of these individually and then do some demos as well. Okay, so the pre-proposal. Usually you have some sort of pre-proposal questionnaire. That might be a questionnaire that resides on your website. It might be a meeting that you have with the client, but it says questions that you ask, at least enough information so that you can create a proposal. It can generate creative solution ideas. I'm going to show you that in a minute. It was really kind of cool how it figured some things out that I probably wouldn't have done. Analyzing competitors, and I have a warning next to that, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. Industry trends, but only through 2021, and some forms of market research, but again, you're not going to get anything that's super, super current. So here's something you can try out to see how well ChatGPT does. I have not taken on a new project lately, so I haven't had the opportunity to do this. But when you go to do your pre-proposal discussion with the client, record the meeting, then use AI, Descript or Otter AI or something like that to create a transcript, and then provide the transcript to ChatGPT and ask it to create a project brief and see what happens. I'd be interested to see. Okay, so now we're going to do a little demo. So I have to get this out of my way, and I have to go over here to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna move that over so we can take a look at this. And now I have lost that. Okay. Okay, sorry. I'm looking for my note that tells me oh, there it is. Okay. You know, when you create something with ChatGPT, it tells you it gives it a name. It names it for you. And then it's all down the left, and you'll see that in just a minute. Let me go back. And it's hard to be moving around between three things like this. Trying to find that other window. There it is. Okay. Nathan, if you're not seeing ChatGPT right now, let me know, but I think you are.
We are seeing ChatGPT.
Okay, great. And now I see where my problem is, trying to figure out where this is. Because I had these written down, but they're written in my notes. And if I switch back to my notes, then I don't remember which one of these this is. Well, you know what? We're just going to do it the easy way. I'm going to exit out of that for 1 second. And we'll just do it live. That's probably the easiest way to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to click on new chat. I'm going to switch it to version 4. And I'm going to put this in here. I need to create a website for a directory listing for local restaurants. What combination of WordPress plugins would give me the most flexibility in how the individual posts are submitted, stored, and displayed? Okay, this is simply a question to try to come up with a solution, because maybe I've never done any kind of directory listing before, right? So I just want to know, instead of going into a Facebook group and saying, which plugin should I use for this? You can just ask ChatGPT. Oh, come on now. Here we go. It's, it's the middle of the day, so it's a little slower than usual. But look how fast it's doing this. So it's giving me suggestions. It's giving me URLs for different plugins to use, what to use on the front end, what to use on the back end. Y'all, is this incredible or what? I mean, so now you've got a good start towards the technical solution, or just some ideas to go research because you've never done this kind of website before. All right, I'm going to say stop generating, because you get the idea, right? We don't need to look at the whole thing. And again, in that, what I'm giving you as a download is just, I'm giving you these prompts so you can do the same thing and test it out for yourself. So I'm going to say stop generating. But anyway, it's just giving you everything, the search and filter that you would need. And here's some plugins. Hey, and these are the plugins that I would use. Y'all, I've done this before. These are all the plugins that I would normally use for this anyway. So, oh, that was the other thing I forgot to tell you, is always check behind ChatGPT. Don't ever take anything it says for the gospel, because sometimes it gets a few things wrong, but it's pretty close most of the time. Okay, so let me go back to my slides. And so it can help generate creative solution ideas. Now, this is the one where I gave you the warning. And the reason that I even put analyzing competitors on here is because I asked ChatGPT, what can I use ChatGPT for in the pre-proposal process? And it said analyzing competitors and market research. But if it only goes through 2021, that's not exactly right, is it? So I went ahead and said, okay, let me come up with something to try to get it to analyze competitors. So I asked it, identify and analyze the primary competitors of Colfax Furniture and Mattress, focusing on their website design strengths and weaknesses, assess how these competitors present their products, user experience, and overall website aesthetics, and determine the opportunities for Colfax Furniture and Mattress to differentiate itself and create a competitive edge. If I go back to ChatGPT, I have to exit out of here in order to do that. And that was way down here. I did this one this morning, I think. Yes, ChatGPT for lead generation. Oh, first I said, how can ChatGPT be used in the lead generation process? Those were the lists it gave me. And one of those things was analyze competitors right here, right? So I said, can you please give me some more detail regarding how you would go about implementing number 4 above, which is lead qualification, integrating it with your CRM. And then it gave me a list of things to carry out in order to integrate ChatGPT with my CRM. It's a little bit, this is one of those situations where you would have to train ChatGPT to certain data. So that's a little over my pay grade, but I was interested. I wanted to hear what it had to say or see what it had to say. And then I said, can you give me more precise details about numbers 3 and 4 in the above list? One of those was, how do I train ChatGPT? And it gives me all the steps, and then how to integrate it with the CRM, and it gave me all the steps. The other one I wanted to show you in regard to this was, let's see, oh, it's back down here. Okay, so I said, make a list of marketing agencies located in Greensboro who build websites with WordPress that have an annual income of 500,000 or greater. List the name of the company, da, 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 da. But it comes back and tells me it can't do that. But then it gives me the instructions for doing it myself, which I think is great. Let's see. I'm trying to find the one I wanted to show you. Oh, here we go. I think it's this one. Here's list 10 questions you would ask ChatGPT when doing local market research. And then I asked the questions, and this didn't really give me a lot of information that I wouldn't already have, that I wouldn't already be able to find out, that I wouldn't already know on my own. So I wasn't real happy with that, but that's not the one I wanted to show you. Yeah, I thought I was organized, John. Sorry. See, but I probably should have just redone all of these and done them in order so I didn't have to search. Give me one moment. Let me go back to my notes. And see what I got there. Web analysis and competition. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm getting it together. Okay, we could just sing the Jeopardy song. Hold on. I had all these things. There it is. All right, so this is where I asked about competitors for Colfax Furniture Mattress, which is an actual company here in Greensboro. And then it says, after conducting thorough research, I've identified 3 primary competitors. All right, there's reasons these are not really the competitors for that furniture store. Because that furniture store is local and regional. These are national chains. But anyway, it goes on to say what their strengths and weaknesses are. But then when I asked that question about Colfax Furniture's website, it told me it couldn't tell me that. And so I wanted to show you all of that to say in that area. Now, there are probably going to be some people who will build, and they might already be out there. I couldn't do the research on every single kind of tool, but I'm certain there's going to be people out there. They're going to build these tools that will enhance this market research process. And eventually it will become more and more current, the data that it uses. Okay, back to the slide deck. Okay, so just take caution. That's all I wanted to say is take caution. Okay, so during the proposal process, you can use ChatGPT to create a project plan. It does a really good job. I was shocked. If you do project briefs, it did a really good job on the project brief too. And it'll create a sitemap, y'all. It'll help you create an estimate. It'll help you prepare the proposal, especially if you have a template that has placeholders in it where you can replace stuff. And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. Of course, revising and editing your proposal, like you could say, make that paragraph sound a little friendlier, right? And it will do it. And then following up with emails, it'll help you write. You can help it will help you write those follow-up emails to your proposal. So let's see, I'm going to project plan, restaurant website, floral website, and then the development estimate. Okay, now I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. And that was, see, part of my problem is that I look at that over there and then I can't remember what I just read. Because, you know, when you're doing a presentation like this, you get a little nervous. So I can't even remember my own name. Oh, project plan. See, now I can do this. There we go. Okay. That's not what I'm looking for. I think this is the one I'm looking for. Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, no, it's not. There it is. Okay. Create a project plan with phases, activities, and tasks for a website for a restaurant. The website will have an online ordering and pickup functionality, but no delivery. It will contain 50 to 100 images of the food items and a menu with the following types of foods. And then I just gave it the categories. So it comes down here and it now, granted, there needs to be way more activities and tasks than this, but it's a really good start. And if you got a whole lot more specific in your prompt, you would get a much more well laid out project plan. You could even tell it what you want to call the phases, right? So you could get a little more in depth, and you're going to get a better, because this one just has three tasks under each activity. But still, I think it did a fabulous job. And then you would just come in here and you could add in the things that you feel you need to add in, or you could use the project plan we give you in the Project Managers Academy if you join there, and use a combination of what ChatGPT tells you and then what the template that I've given you. Now the other one having to do with project planning. Wait, let's go the other way. No, it's this way. Yeah. Okay, so then I took that project plan and I said, create a project schedule for the following project plan. Phase 1 begins on May 15th. And it did. Okay. Of course, all dates are estimated and may be subject to change. So you would never take this out of the box and give it to a client, of course. But it's a huge way to get started, right? Well, this gets better, y'all. Okay, so then I say put the above in a table to be copied to a spreadsheet. Great. And then I say, wait a minute, that's not, I need more. So I said, add a column to the above table and show the number of days for each row based on the start and end dates. So I got it to calculate the number of days. I'm going to scroll to the right. So it told me how many days each one of these things is going to take. And then I said, using an hourly rate of $75 an hour, I just picked that out of the sky, add a column for estimate and add the estimate for each row. Create an additional row and total all the single estimates into a total estimate. And so it did that. It did not do. Oh, yeah, it did that. Hold on. I got to scroll. Well, apparently, did it? Oh, I stopped it because I was in a hurry to go on to the next thing. But it would do it. I did test it. It would do the whole thing, and then it would total it at the end. Is that the estimate you should give the client? Absolutely not. But it's a good way to get, because I tell people all the time, the only way to really get a precise estimate, as precise as you can possibly be, is to estimate every single task on the project plan. That can be time consuming and a big headache. But not if ChatGPT can help you with it first, then you're just adding to it. Okay. I just think this is amazing. Okay. So that's how you can create a project plan. Oh, I had a better project brief to show you too. Let me go back to ChatGPT. I wanted to show you. If you just wanted to do a project brief from scratch, as long as I can remember what's in the title, then I'm good. Okay. So I said, create a project brief for a one-person floral design business called C. Holmquist Designs. Christina Carl, the owner and designer, only services the Charleston, South Carolina area and personally delivers small, medium, and large flower arrangements with vases. Y'all, this is my daughter's business. The arrangements can be ordered through the website's online store or via direct message on Instagram, but she doesn't let me do her website. Indicate the best keywords to use for SEO and blog topics that would enhance local SEO. Okay, y'all won't believe how good this project brief is. Okay, so it gives an overview of what I just told it. Then it gives me my business objectives right here. Okay, it gives me an idea of what the target audience would be. And here's something I didn't even think about, because she mostly does it for individuals, but I didn't think about event planners and hosts that might be part of her target audience. And then it gives me the website structure. Of course, this is a little thin, but that's okay. We're just trying to get it to give us a brief. Here's our, and it gives us the suggested SEO keywords, and then it gives us some blog topics ideas, as well as the timeline, and then a little summary paragraph. It's amazing. And then I said, hey, create a sitemap for that website, right, that you just gave me the brief for. And it did. And now it's giving me the sub pages or the sub things that should be on each of the pages, right? A biography, her design philosophy, a photo gallery, what should be in the shop. See, I didn't think about that she might want to sell vases as well as the flowers. So these things it just gives you great ideas, right? Then the blog and then the contact page. Now, what I give my students inside the academy is a proposal template. And so it's got placeholder text in the little greater than and less than symbols in the like it's showing here on the screen. And so if you do that, if you have a template like that and you have placeholder text and you create a document that is sort of also a template that you fill in every time. So you would fill in just a list of the placeholder text items. So, and then you could use ChatGPT to go ahead and fill it all in for you, right? Instead of going through and looking for everywhere it says individual name 1 and then having to replace that, and individual name 2 and having to replace that. So what I said was, in the following text, replace the following. Replace the following: client name with the actual client name, the placeholder with such and so, the placeholder with such and so. And so here's my template. This is the template part, right? Now where this gets good, because I only did the first part of the proposal to show y'all, but I mean, the proposal is huge. But this could save so much time. So it filled in all of this placeholder stuff everywhere that I have it. And then when it came down here to business needs, it listed the business requirements that were way up here in the brief. These objectives. I told it to use these objectives for the business requirements. Okay, that becomes important in just a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here and go back to the slide deck for just a second. Oh, that's not the slide deck. Hold on. Where did my slide? Oh, that's because the slide deck's right here. Okay. See, in this case, I need 3 monitors instead of 2. Okay, so we've basically covered the entire proposal phase. We've covered most of the things in that stage using AI to assist us in one way or another. We didn't go over revising and editing the proposal, but that's kind of self-explanatory. You would just give it the text you want it to revise and ask it to revise it. Excuse me for one moment while I drink some water. And I'm going to cough. I will be so glad when the pine pollen is gone from North Carolina. Okay. Now, the next stage we have is our discovery. Oh, wait, I already did that. The next phase is our discovery. Okay. Now, I didn't pick a tool and show you this, but y'all, you can create wireframes from a screenshot. So if there's this website over here and you want the layout to be very similar or the same, there are tools out there you can say, all right, do a wireframe from this screenshot, and then you can go move the stuff around like you want to. Even better than that is that you can draw it on a freaking napkin, take a picture of it and say, okay, now create me a wireframe, and it will do it. It will do it. Now, if you're not familiar with wireframes and when and how you should be using them in your design or project management process, then you probably need to join the academy, because it really does help refine what the client wants in little bitty chunks by starting out with wireframes. Okay, and then content. You could create instructions for your clients on how to write the content, or you can create sample content. You can say, okay, write me homepage content for a plumber who does these, and and then say, okay, client, edit this. Because it's a whole lot easier for a client to edit than it is for them to write from scratch. And that's what I think one of the big reasons we never get the content from the client on time is because they're looking at a blank piece of paper and they don't know what to write. And even if you try to teach them, they still don't know what to write, or else they send you stuff that's not good. I wanted to use a bad word, but I won't. That's just not good. So I like the idea of going ahead and writing some copy and then saying, okay, here, Mr. Client, this is close to what you want. Now edit this to be your voice and be your more about your business specifically. Okay, now, so once we've got the wireframes, we've got the content, now it's time to narrow down those business requirements into functional requirements and technical requirements. So let's go back to ChatGPT. I'll show you what I did. So what I said was, for each of the business requirements listed in the project brief, the following, oh wait, that's the answer. I said, list 5 to 10 functional requirements for each of the business requirements listed in 3 through 8 above. This should have actually been a sub numbers of background and business requirements, but it didn't, so I didn't care. I just said, show me that. Okay. So here's number 1, design a visually appealing, user-friendly website that reflects the design's brand. It needs to have a responsive design. It needs to have a consistent color scheme. It needs to have easy navigation, high quality images and visuals, and fast page load times. Now, some of this would need to be quantified, because quantify fast. All right. Fast is subjective. But still, it did a really good job of coming up with the functional requirements so that now you can come in here and tweak it and make it even better. Can y'all tell I'm excited about this? I can't wait. I can't wait to start my next project so I can go through this whole process in real life. But it says showcase the various flower arrangements and vases offered by the business, implement an easy to use online store, integrate Instagram direct messaging for customers, because she also takes orders through Instagram. Optimize the website for search engines, focusing on relevant keywords for Charleston, South Carolina. It came up with all of this. I didn't have to do it. So I just think that was really fabulous. I wish I could come up with some more adjectives. I'm not being very creative with my adjectives. It's awesome. It's just awesome. And then the last step in the discovery phase is to put all of these things together into a statement of work. And so you could do that in the same way that you did that with the proposal. You would have placeholders, and then these things would be located wherever they're located, and you would fill in whatever you needed to be filled in, just by maybe adding it to a Google sheet or a spreadsheet, and then say, okay, take everything in this spreadsheet and put it over here. It'll save a lot of time, because yeah, I think. All right. Now there's one last stage. I already did the discovery demo. No, wait, we haven't. Hey, that's the biggest part of the project. Everything we just covered right now in the way that I teach the methodology for project management is most of your time is spent in the planning and the gathering and the organizing and the getting ready to build. And that way the build and the managing of the project doesn't take very long at all, or it's not very hard. But what it can do for you when you're managing things is you can ask it to identify the risks. All right, so I wasn't really sure how to ask it that. So I asked it how to ask that. So I said, give me a good prompt for trying to identify risks for a project. And so, and this is in the document that I'm giving you, but I'm just going to read this from my notes. Please, we couldn't do demos for every little thing. We'd be here, till midnight, although I wouldn't really mind that because it's so much fun to do. Okay, but identify risk. Please help me identify potential risks for the following project. And then you would give a brief description of the project, its objectives, and then any relevant details. And then you would say, consider risks related to scope, budget, timeline, stakeholders, resources, and any other relevant aspects. Analyze both internal and external factors that could impact the project's success and provide a brief explanation of each identified risk. Now, for some clients, you don't really go much into the risk and mitigation thing, but if your client's giving you content, that is always a risk on a project and needs to be called out at the beginning of the project. So if you need help with the whole risk thing, we can teach you that in the academy. A lot of people just don't even deal with it. And then when something happens, they haven't really planned ahead for it. So they don't really know how to deal with it. But by identifying potential risks to the project and figuring out if this, then that, if this happens, then we're going to do that. You really can do two things. First, you're doing a really good job of planning for the potential bottlenecks and delays, but also it makes you look really professional with your client because they're like, project risks, I never thought about that, but I guess that's right. Yeah, we should identify those. We should figure out what we will do if those things happen. That's a good thing, right? And the same thing with milestones. I'm not like, how can it figure out the milestones? But I said, tell me what a good prompt for that would be. And this is in the document I'm giving you. Can you help me identify milestones for my project? The project is, and you give a brief description. Please outline the key milestones or major steps that need to be completed from start to finish. That's huge, y'all. Which are the major steps and which are the minor ones? Sometimes I have trouble figuring that out on my own. Include any important deliverables or objectives that should be achieved at each milestone. Additionally, if there are any specific timeframes or dependencies between milestones, please mention those as well. It's doing your planning for you. I think it's brilliant. Okay, communication. Can you write an outline for a communication plan for a website development project? Performance monitoring. I asked it, how would you go about using ChatGPT for performance monitoring of a website development project? And this is where I noticed that my 3.5 answer from version 3.5 of ChatGPT was actually better than the answer to version 4. And then knowledge management, the same thing as I asked it, how would you go about using ChatGPT for knowledge management? So real quick, I'm not going to go into the detail of each of those because we're running up to the hour here. But let's see. How would you go about using ChatGPT for performance monitoring of a website development project? And then, so it says task management and reminders, documentation, code review, brainstorming and problem solving, and communication. And then it says, remember, ChatGPT is not a substitute for dedicated performance monitoring tools, and it's not designed for real-time monitoring or alerting. However, you can still use it creatively to support your website development project in various ways. I love it. When it can't do something, it tells you, I can't do that for you, but here's how you can go about it. Here's another way you can find out the answer. I just, people keep telling me that ChatGPT is not thinking. And I know in reality, it's really not. It's just bringing in this collective consciousness from decades, and but it feels like it's thinking, right? It just feels like it is. So how would you use ChatGPT for knowledge management? And so it says you could collect and organize knowledge, prepare the training data, train the model, integrate. This is another situation where you would have to load the data in and then train the model against your own data. Okay, I think that's pretty much it, except I think we got closeout. Yes. So during project closeout, you can use it to generate checklists, like create a checklist for moving a website from the staging environment to a live environment. It thought of some things that I didn't think about, y'all, really. And I've done that a million times. Or maybe I just want it to do a checklist because I've never written those steps down. I just have them in my head, and then I want to go in and add it in there. Okay, here's one I did for capturing lessons learned. I am going to go back to ChatGPT real quick, because I thought this was really stellar as well. Okay, so here's the checklist for moving a site. Take a backup, do the database migration, files and assets migration, configuration, domain and DNS, testing and validation, monitoring analytics, and so on. I keep forgetting I have to go backwards based on the order that I did them. There's identifying project milestones. I just asked it to give me a prompt. Okay, here we go. So if you do things like I teach it in the academy, then you're going to keep an issues log. So every time there's an issue, it gets written down, and then how it gets resolved gets documented. Okay. So what I did was I said, using the issues and their resolutions listed below. So I just made some up. Okay, I made some up, pretending like they were on the issues log. What are the lessons learned we should learn from these? So my issue was new fields have been discovered that need to be included in the point of sale export and import into the web online store. Anybody who knows me knows where that comes from. Resolution, we invoked the change control process and increased the project budget by $500. Here's another issue. Sally, the project lead on the client side, retired and her replacement is not as experienced. Resolution, we invoked the change control process to change the primary resource and added new tasks to the project plan to train the new client representative. So then it comes back and it says, from the issues and resolutions listed above, the following lessons can be learned. Be prepared to adapt to new requirements. The importance of the change control process, establishing strong communication channels, training and knowledge transfer, on and on. So then I said, okay, now the way I teach my students is every so often you collect these lessons learned together and you go, okay, these all go together. This should be a best practice. This should be something we do all the time now. We should change the way we do things because we've come across this problem this many times, or we've been successful so many times with this thing we've been doing. Let's make that a best practice. So here's what I said. What are some best practices that could be derived from the lessons learned listed above? Establish a robust change control process, foster effective communication, and it gives you some ideas on how to do that. Invest in training and development, implement proactive risk management. That's what I was talking about a few minutes ago. Y'all, I am just blown away with how much of this stuff that we should be doing and that most people don't do because it's kind of time consuming and boring. We can get ChatGPT to do a lot of it for us. I'm blown away by this, blown away. Okay. So, having shown you all of that, what is the future of project management? Well, the bottom line is AI can replace much of what we do from a technical or design perspective or development perspective. So don't get upset. But because AI also cannot replace the human factor, at least not yet, that's required to manage projects and manage clients. AI can help us streamline, automate, analyze, and improve our project management processes. So therefore, it may be wise to focus in these next few months more on improving your project management skills over your technical skills that can easily be replaced, because those project management skills are going to be what sets you apart, because everybody else can use the AI tools for design and for all these other things too, or the client can use them themselves. But if you can guarantee your client that you can get your projects done on time within budget, and that you're aware of all the bugaboos and the delays and the problems that come up on projects, but they don't have to worry about that with you because you already have a process in place to take care of those things, then that's what's going to make you look like a rock star. That's what's going to make you, that's going to be your unique value proposition or your unique selling proposition. So if you believe that last statement is true, which it is, then I invite you to join the WP Project Managers Academy, where you can learn to consistently complete projects on time within budget with features that meet the client's business requirements. Here's the key: without sacrificing your own profit. Almost everybody can do that, but they generally are working 60 to 80-hour weeks, or they're eating into their ROI because they didn't plan well. Okay, so if you join the Academy, there's 2 memberships at present. One is your basic membership, which is free, and that's your Project Management 101 roadmap. And then you've got the premium membership, which includes the 101 roadmap, but also has the complete roadmap, which it includes 6 project execution roadmaps, 6 problem-solving roadmaps, agency management lessons from 13 industry experts, including Nathan Ingram, client expectations guides, like how to set expectations for every aspect of the project, how to stop scope creep and retain your profit, how to prevent the content collection bottleneck, which we all know is a problem, and then ongoing curated content from subject matter experts. And then there's more than 80 templates and tools and already done for you language that you can just copy and paste and tweak and make it your own. I'm going to go back up a slide because it seems like there was something else I wanted to tell you there. Oh, yeah. I'm redoing the whole thing. I mentioned it earlier. I'm redoing that whole premium membership to walk through, to incorporate using AI, where all the ways where that can use that we can use it to solve these problems. And so when we're done with that, the monthly subscription is going to go up. But this is what you currently get in the premium program. And you can get certified. This is a way that if project management is your unique value proposition, this is how you let people know that, because you've got these these badges on your site that say that they can click on and find out what you did to get those certifications. And I'm going to tell you right now, y'all, it's not that hard. It's some questions. There's a few for the level 2, there's a few little extra hoops you got to jump through and get some customers to write in. But other than that, it's mostly questions, and super easy to get those certifications and set yourself apart from the competition. Okay, so this is what we're doing that's going to make that price go up. Is we are rewriting our framework manual to become the definitive website development framework and lifecycle for web professionals. If any of you ever worked in software development, there's the SDLC, the software development lifecycle, that's been around since the 80s. And this is fashioned after that, and walks you through every single activity, task, everything you have to do. What are the inputs? How do you carry it out? And then what are the outputs that feed into the next activity and task? And it's going to include those shortcuts, prompts, tips, and tricks for streamlining project management with AI. And here's the thing: if you guys join before May 15th with the coupon code SOLID23, it was really hard for me not to write iThemes23, but it's solid now. And you know what? Don't do that yet, because I forgot to add the coupon code to the website. Running down to the last minute, always. But anyway, you get a $14 a month discount off the current price. So that'll drop it down to $65 a month. And then that'll be a $35 price off the upcoming price increase. So it's going from $79 a month to $99 a month. So if this is something you think you want to do, I encourage you to do it now. And then in about 20 minutes, you can get the slides, the prompts at wproadmaps.com/speaking. And in about 20 minutes, you can use that coupon code to join also, because I forgot to add it to the website. And if you don't want to do any of that, but you just want to hang out with us and you want to talk about project management, and you want to get together every Friday for a chat, which we do every Friday in our Facebook group, you're welcome to join there. We do ask you some entry questions. That's just to keep the riffraff out. We don't hold on to those answers or hold you accountable to any of that. So that is the end of my presentation. I'm sorry I talked so fast there at the beginning. I mean, at the end, but I was afraid that I didn't know what time it was. Oh, we came right up on 3 o'clock. Sorry.
All right. We still have a few minutes for questions and answers here, though. Let me ask you first question from Kelly. Beth, what tool did you mention that does the wireframes screenshot to wireframe tool?
I don't remember the name of it. I mean, there's several, okay, but it starts with UI something, and just Google it. Google wireframes from screenshots or wireframes from sketches, and you should get that.
Oh, is it this uiizard.com?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to drop that in the chat.
I've taken a look at that one. That one looks to be pretty good.
It does. All right. Let's see. Next question from Manu. What AI software are you using to take your recordings to a transcript?
Descript.
Descript. All right. And we use Otter here on iThemes Training.
Well, the reason I use Descript is that most of my transcripts come from video. And with Descript, I can take the video. I mean, it gives me the transcript, and I can cut out an entire paragraph, and it will cut that out of the video, and I don't have to do anything.
Very cool. John would like to know
if it's AI in two directions, right? It's the transcript, plus it lets you edit the video without actually editing the video. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good. John wanted to know if you've compared the responses from ChatGPT to Bing to Bard, and what you think is any better.
No, I haven't gotten that far. Once again, I'm not an AI expert. This is not my area of expertise. I was just getting so into it when Nathan was saying that he had some opening slots for training. I was like, oh, I want to tell people about how to do this. So I haven't done a lot of comparisons.
Yeah, very good. Kelly wanted to know if she joins the paid membership and completes the training before the AI framework is implemented on your site, do you have to go back and recertify or anything, or once you're certified, you're certified?
No, you're certified. The AI has nothing to do with the certification. That it's about, do you know how to implement these processes?
Got it. AI is just a tool, right? To make it a little bit easier. Last question from Michael. This is the question of the hour, I think, in my opinion. Is AI becoming one of our competitors for jobs?
It depends on what your job is, I think. If you're a copywriter, might be a tough one for you. I'm sorry, you just got to accept that. But here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. Figure out a way to utilize it instead of let it replace you, right? Get with a programmer and develop a product, a tool of some sort that's maybe some sort of special way of special prompts. Prompt engineer is becoming a career, right? But this is the way it is with project change too. Don't run from it. Don't run from it. It's going to be here. It's going to be here forever. Figure out how you can use it. Be creative. Take a shower. It'll stimulate.
Exactly. You see this, and I want to pause for a minute on this question, because I hear this all the time. There's a lot of fear around AI in our world, and really in any knowledge worker space. I'll tell you, you see this in any technological change in history. It's professionals and companies who pivot to use the technology do better. The ones that try to hold on to the old way of doing things disappear. And we've seen this if we were just to say in the WordPress space, I started WordPress back in, 2008, was all in WordPress by 2010. Everything there was, you had, if you wanted multi-column text, you had to hand code the CSS to make it happen. And then along came page builders that reduced the amount of time it takes to build a page from, an hour or more to just this quick, and it's all done. So, it's all about adapting the technology. And what we have to be really careful of, I think, and I'm soapboxing here, but what we have to be really careful of, I think, is making sure that what we're delivering is not a commodity. It's always about, and Beth, you're one of the biggest proponents of this, it's all about being a solutions provider. It's about, we're not selling websites, we're selling solutions. We're selling, a marketing strategy. We're selling, it doesn't matter if you have a website. The website needs to accomplish a purpose, and we're selling the means to get to that end. And so I'll stop this answer with a quote that I used in a news roundup a few months ago. from Sujay Pawar, who is the founder of Brainstorm Force, Astra, Ultimate Add-ons, all those folks. And Sujay's response to this was, look, when computers came along, computers did not replace accountants. Accountants who used computers replaced accountants that didn't. And that's a really great analogy to us and AI. We have to learn how to use the technology to do what we do better and to make it simpler and to take all these great processes that Beth has thought about in the Project Managers Academy and just make it easier. Yeah. So I'm sorry, this is a soapbox there for a little bit. Beth, what do you think? Any comments on that?
No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's not exactly the same analogy, but we worry about, you know what, if like as a teacher, right? I'm a teacher. That's a big part of what I do, as well as I still run my agency. I'm an online course creator. Yeah, somebody can create a course in like no time, but here's the difference. I'm a teacher. Right? If teachers could be replaced by those sorts of things, then when textbooks came out, teachers wouldn't have been needed anymore. No, teachers are still needed. Website solution providers are still needed. Button pushers, not so much.
Exactly right. All right, folks, we need to start to wrap this one up. I will remind you that one of the segments of our monthly WordPress news roundup, which is, monthly, is on AI news. And so we keep you informed on what's happening in the AI world. I've dropped in the link in the chat to our next news roundup coming up in a couple of weeks, May 23rd, right here on iThemes Training. So Beth, it's been great. Thanks for some great examples and yet another way that we can use AI to make our worlds easier. Any final thoughts as we're wrapping up?
No, just remember those caveats that don't ever just plop something that AI did for you out to a client without checking behind it, tweaking it, and just know that it could be making some mistakes. So check behind it.
100%. All right, all the links are there in the chat. The download link for today's slides and AI prompts, which will be working here in just a few minutes as soon as we wrap up and Beth gets the right box checked. We'll also have the replay up in about a half an hour, something like that, at the link that I provided for you. You can share that out, go back and rewatch, whatever you'd like to do. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. Tomorrow, we're back for the Fly course for members. We're talking all about recurring revenue, and then office hours on Thursday for members here on iThemes Training, where we go further together.